A lustful ram that can walk upright slips silently into a sheepfold filled with ewes late one night, and the moment its shadow rises like a man's silhouette, the animals erupt into blind panic, slamming their bodies against wooden fences, screaming in terror as if confronted by a demon, only to realize the gate has already been locked, trapping them inside with the intruder. And when dawn finally comes, the ram vanishes into the darkness, leaving behind ewes collapsed on the ground, legs shaking, lungs burning, eyes hollow, as though they have survived something too horrible to name. Months later, the hidden consequences of that night surface when the ewes give birth one after another, filling the isolated farm with newborn lambs and temporary joy for a couple living far from civilization, surrounded by mountains and fog, dependent entirely on livestock to survive. Yet one ewe's pregnancy stretches far beyond what nature allows, her body swelling grotesquely as weeks turn into months, until at last she gives birth to something that should never exist, a child with a human body and the head of a sheep. The woman, already shattered by the death of her human daughter years earlier and permanently unable to conceive again, refuses to see the newborn as an abomination, instead clinging to it as a divine gift meant to heal her grief, naming her Ada, carrying her into the house, placing her in a handmade cradle, feeding her, bathing her, dressing her, singing to her, teaching her affection, and insisting she is human in every way that truly matters. Outside, the real sheep mother wanders endlessly beneath the windows, crying day and night for the child stolen from her, her voice cutting through the fog and slowly burrowing into the woman's mind, until fear, guilt, and jealousy twist into paranoia, her sleep poisoned by dreams of glowing eyes and accusing stares, until at last she convinces herself that only violence can protect her family and raises a gun to kill the ewe, silencing the cries forever. Years pass, and when the husband's estranged brother unexpectedly returns, he immediately senses something is deeply wrong. 3 people living in the house, but 4 places set at the table. And when Ada finally steps into view, half human and half beast, his world tilts as shock, disgust, confusion, and suspicion flood his mind, leading him to believe his brother and sister-in-law have descended into madness or committed an unforgivable sin. He tests Ada cruelly, humiliating her by forcing her to eat like an animal, questioning whether she belongs to humanity at all, and even leads her into the mountains with a gun, fully intending to end what he sees as a monstrous mistake. Yet at the critical moment, his resolve collapses, his hands tremble, and he cannot pull the trigger, choosing instead a reluctant acceptance that briefly restores a fragile, uneasy peace to the household. As Ada grows older, her confusion deepens. She cannot understand human pleasures like television, sports, music, or dancing, feels detached while watching her parents laugh, yet is irresistibly drawn to images of sheep, open fields, and distant cries that echo in her mind like a forgotten language, a sound she was born to make but was never taught. Her fragile sense of identity finally shatters when she encounters a sheep-headed man watching her from afar, and later realizes, upon seeing her own reflection in a mirror, that she shares his form, that she is not what she was told she was. Unnoticed by the adults, danger closes in as the sheepdog is slaughtered and the land grows unnaturally quiet, until the truth arrives in sudden violence. The sheep-headed man, Ada's biological father, returns to avenge the family stolen from him, confronts the man who raised her, shoots him dead, and reaches out to reclaim his child. Ada clings desperately to the dying man who loved her, sobbing over his body with genuine grief and confusion, torn between instinct and memory. But in the end, she releases his hand and walks away with her true father, glancing back only once with sorrow, fear, longing, and regret before disappearing into the endless wilderness, while the adoptive mother arrives moments too late, collapsing beside her husband's lifeless body in the vast frozen landscape where the cold wind howls, the fog closes in, and the crushing silence leaves her face to face with the unbearable truth that love alone could not change nature, that denial could not stop fate, and that nothing at all will ever be okay again.